What's going on? What's going on? So some news from the UK, you know, across the seas. And according to them, I guess there's been rumors that's going on that Eddie Hearn and Matchroom are going to be moving to the zone. Now, this is not any big surprise to me. I've said that previously that, I believe that that's a move that they 100% were going to make. But I guess what they're talking about now is that, I guess it was supposed to be a couple of more, maybe a little bit longer, another year or so before they actually made the transition. But that now it's like they have a couple of more dates, I guess, with Matchroom, and they kind of just want to Matchroom. Sky Sports just wants to kind of just end the relationship there. It's kind of like, why are we gonna, have you guys stay here another year and us, extend the deal and invest these finances basically into you guys when you're not going to be around. It doesn't make any sense. And that what Sky Sports going to be doing is that they're going to start getting other promoters, other small promoters, giving them a certain amount of dates, and then having them put on shows on Sky Sports, and they'll just move on with that. So there would still be UK boxing on Sky Sports. They'll still get all those domestic fights that the UK fans love. They love a lot. When as it pertains to the fighters that are from their own country, and it's something they will still give. It's not going to be with Matchroom, and that Matchroom would be moving to, I guess, the zone permanently. Them obviously also with Anthony Joshua as well, and just put all their shows there. I guess obviously some of them will be just regular zone fights. I believe. You see they started doing the kind of the pay per view with Canelo, trying to get that kind of going on. So I don't know if it might be a type of situation where even if you have a subscription, let's say with somebody like an Anthony Joshua, where you still have to pay per view. Because I don't necessarily see Eddie Hearn doing a deal like this without that provision, just due to the fact that they usually do a lot of pay per views, in the UK, a lot of pay per views. So he makes a lot of money off those fights. So they would have to pay him, obviously, financially, they would have to give him a substantial amount of money. That would be number one. And number two, they'd have to put him he'd have to be into the same kind of space where he's still obviously making that same level of revenue or more. So I'm pretty sure they have some kind of structure that is set up that obviously would work for him and would work for his company. And it's no secret to me when it comes to the fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. I personally don't believe it's happening. And I know a lot of people are getting hyped up about it as they bring in more news and things of that nature. There's multiple reasons why I believe it's not happening. It's not like I just pulling it out of my arse, as they might say down there. It's not the case. It's just different things as far as the arbitration that's going on with Deontay Wilder that people are just closing their eyes to as if that's just something on a distance that means nothing, and especially when it comes to, let's say, the UK fans, people being from the UK, them not understanding how our judicial system works over here, or not understanding when people make agreements and then they put it into the hands of a judge like that, they might not understand exactly how it works. They might not also understand, past history as far as like with Asim Rahman and Lennox Lewis. Same kind of situation. The champion gets beat and the challenger who's not a champion decides that he wants to fight somebody else, and the champion puts an injunction on it and they rule in favor of the guy that lost his belt, and they're forced to fight. So it's not like you're just pulling out of your tail. It's just just looking at history and what's happened, understanding that, in that contract, whatever those damages are supposed to be, they'll be so substantially high, it would make no sense to not fight the dude with the amount of money we're going to be paying. It wouldn't be that 5-10 million people thinking it would be. It wouldn't necessarily be that. Even if, let's say, the judge hypothetically, let's just say, ruled into Fury's favor, it's regardless until that happens, no one can move. It is what it is. Regardless if people want to just close their eyes to that fact or not. But one of the big major reasons that I also no, well, not a major, one of the other reasons that I said I would never see. I don't see this fight happening. Was due to the fact of this, the fact that you know a big deal was definitely coming up. When it came to Matchroom and when it came to the zone, we're talking about making money over a long period of time. You know, looking at the long game, like Barry Hearn likes to do. Looks at that long game, and so you're gonna take your main fighter, the guy that's gonna fight twice a year, that's gonna bring in the most viewerships, and you're gonna put him into a space where he's gonna do a fight like that, where he could lose all his belts. Where he could even, where even if they do a rematch, he could lose that rematch as well. So then now you put into a space where what? Your biggest commodity, the person that's going to basically anchor this move, because he's going to be the anchor. Anthony Joshua is going to be the anchor because regardless of who he fights, the UK fans, they're buying. They're going to watch. So Anthony Joshua is going to be the driving force that's going to drive in these subscribers. Okay? That's going to drive in these viewerships. He is the anchor. He's the anchor. There's no one else that's on that roster. No one else is on that roster that's anything close to Anthony Joshua. Nobody. No one's gonna bring in anything close when it comes to viewerships. No one's gonna, when you see when the world finally opens up and he's fighting in the UK and he's bringing in 30, 40,000 people again. No one's bringing in that same atmosphere as he does in the UK. It's just there's nobody else. Who can do that? Who can do that? Who can bring in that level of fights in the UK right now? Nobody. That's it. It's him. Eddie, Tyson Fury has a deal with, he got his promoter, another network over there. He's working with ESPN in the United States, ESPN Plus, Top Rank. So it's not him. As far as Matchroom's concerned, who else can do what Anthony Joshua can do over there? So it makes, if you're talking long term, it makes absolutely no sense to do that fight and to put him in that type of risk. Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So that's also one of the reasons why I don't see it as a fight that's going to happen at all. It's because of that. It's because of, let's say, this deal that might be going on, that might be happening. They're not going to put the anchor into a space where he could just be washed away, which would just kind of destroy everything that they have planned, because he's the centerpiece of this working. He is the centerpiece, okay? The centerpiece of this working, So because of that, I don't see this fight happening, but I don't believe that, people should have the same train of thought as me. I believe it's cool for other people to think differently. They can go ahead and think it's going to happen. They can stay hyped up. But at the end of the day, I always say time reveals all. Eventually we'll see, if it happens or not. Time always reveals the truth. And, shortly we'll see. But Matchroom to the zone. And because of it, don't see that Tyson Fury fight happening. But for now, like, subscribe, share. I'm out.